Welcome back, everyone. In this lesson, we will cover page 5 in Standard of Excellence. So, quick review before we get started. We learned B flat, A, and G in the last lesson, making sure that we're moving fingers nice and lightly, keeping them close to the keys. So on page 5, we're going to add another new note, which is D. So let's remind ourselves what it feels like to balance the flute, and then we'll try this note. So right hand thumb is pushing into that left hand index finger, that squishy part, and then we're just kind of secure on the chin. And the rods here are pointed at the ceiling rather than at the wall behind us, and we can balance on that. Good, and making sure that we're pointed the right way, so we've got some of that room happening between us and the stand. Our legs are angled off to the side so that we can twist back and have that nice open arm position. All right, so D is our first note on this page. So D is the left hand thumb, middle finger, ring finger, right hand first finger, middle finger, ring finger, and that's it. So let's try to play that D, remembering that nice ooh shape, thinking of being really relaxed, that bulldog face that I talked about in the last lesson. So here is number 1. So tempo about 1, 2, good breath. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Get a good breath. All right, good. So then we move on to the second note on this page, which is a C. So from D to C, we're changing a lot of things. So I want you to practice this first. So let's try the new note C, which is the left hand first finger and the right hand pinky. Now we want to make sure that we're balancing on that right hand thumb, left hand first finger, and the chin, and that we're not really using the pinky to support the instrument. It can move just as easily as any other finger. So make sure that you're not grabbing onto the instrument with that pinky. Good, so that's our C. Now D, remember, it was the thumb, middle finger, ring finger, first finger, middle finger, ring finger. So that's a lot of fingers. You'll notice that your first finger in the left hand and your right hand pinky are both up for this. So we're going to take off all of the fingers that are down right now and put those 2 on. So D to C will look like this. D to C. And practice that back and forth a couple of times just so it feels really good, okay? So for this one, we just have to worry about C, but coming up on the page, we will need to transition. So let's try that C, nice and light, making sure we're not grabbing hold of anything. So good breath here before we start. 1, 2, breathe. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Good. Did you keep nice and light on the keys as you went through that? Good for you. All right, so let's try number 3 then. So T for 2. Again, that D to C. And we're going to make sure that we're changing with plenty of time. So this is a really helpful tip. You can actually change your fingering in the rest and not play it. So we're not trying to coordinate as many things at once. So let's try number 3 from that D to the C. 1, 2, ready. Change to C. Back to D. Change to C. Good. Good job. So we are done with those 2. Now, that's going to be something that is probably a little bit trickier to get the hang of right away. Just keep practicing it back and forth, nice and slowly, making sure that your balance points are what's holding up the flute and not any of your fingers. We want to be able to move fast eventually, and if some of the fingers are holding onto the instrument, that's going to make it more challenging. All right, so that brings us to B flat, and that's a note that you've seen before. So just a reminder, that's the left hand thumb and first finger, and then the right hand first finger and pinky. Okay, so let's try that B flat. Nice, good body alignment, lots of space, sitting nice and tall, and getting a really great breath before we start to play. Ready? So let's inhale 4 counts. So 1, 2, ready. Good, so B flat, relatively simple. Now, we're going to combine B flat, C, and D in the next exercise. So let's just finger through B flat, which you were just on, then to C, where we're lifting the thumb and the right hand first finger. So try that again, B flat to C, and then C to D. Remember, exchanging every finger here, except we're not using the left hand pinky yet. So everything else that's not on goes onto the flute. So C to D. And go back to C and to D. All right, so we're starting on D. Let's try this, number 5, 3 of a kind. 1, 2, ready. To C. Good. So the next one is going to take those same notes and we're jumping around. So this is where we're starting to skip notes instead of moving in stepwise fashion. So pay attention. Are you moving by a step? Are you skipping? And then try to say those names for yourself in your head before you move to the next note. Okay? So number 6, Three's Company, and we are starting on which note? We're starting on C. Good. So C. 1, 2, ready. B flat next. Then D. And C. Good. So I find it helpful to say the note name before I move to that note. That's just going to reinforce the memory of what the fingering is, as well as how to keep track of all of your different notes. So let's do the same thing then in number 7 here, okay? So we're starting on B flat here, and it has a friendly reminder asking you, how's your posture? So make sure that you're sitting nice and tall, feet flat on the ground. Make sure that everything is staying nice and lifted away from your body as you're playing. So B flat. 1, 2, ready. C. D. And B flat. Good job. And that concludes page 5 in Standard of Excellence. Stay tuned for page 6.